Hey, this is Laurel Strang. I am the Yoga Bliss Junkie. Welcome to beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, and welcome to the show that is changing the yoga world. We are actually down on a sandbar right now at Jericho Beach, and I'm not sure if the tide is coming in or going out. I haven't been here long enough to figure that out, but I think we're going to get a clue in just a few moments. If the Actually, I think it might be safe. I think the tide's going out, but I have filmed one before on YouTube a long time ago, last summer, where the water was actually coming up onto my mat. It was so hilarious. Okay, so hopefully I'll have better luck today. But my butt is actually soaked already because the ground is so wet. It's coming up through my yoga mat. You don't need a yoga mat for this pose that we're going to do today, but it is recommended if you choose an option where you're up on your fists. I'll go into that in a second. So before we get started, make sure that you consult a physician before you begin any fitness or yoga exercise. That said, today we are doing part 2 of the arm strengthening poses. Thank you to Julia who requested that. So today we're going to do a pose that looks pretty easy, can be very difficult. So, some precautions. I'm going to show you the pose we're going to do. It's a table, balancing table actually. So you come up onto your hands and knees, and the precaution here is wrists, elbows, shoulders. So if you've had a recent injury or if you've had a chronic injury to any of those 3 areas, proceed with caution, please. Okay, so the benefits to doing the pose we're about to do are obviously strengthening these areas, the whole arm. You're going to strengthen your abdominals as long as you're not doing this. I'm going to get you to flatten your back. So you're going to strengthen some abs, some back muscles. You're actually going to be up here. So you're going to strengthen some glutes. The supporting leg is going to be working like crazy. Your quads are going to be working there. So there's a whole lot of muscles, including the arm muscles, that we're going to strengthen today. So come up onto your hands and knees. You want to get your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Now, if you don't want to be on your hands like this because that's too much weight for your wrists, come up onto your fists. So you just make a fist with your hand, come up there. That will still strengthen your wrist, okay? So that's a great position to be in as well. If that's uncomfortable, then come down to the elbows. But if you had to choose between this or this and both feel comfortable, I would choose this, just because you're incorporating the strengthening benefit to your wrist. Here, your wrist is totally out of the picture. Okay, so if you're down here, your elbow is underneath your shoulder. If you're up here, your wrist is underneath your shoulder, and your hands are about shoulder width apart. Your knees are right underneath your hips. I think mine are. And put a comment in the section below if it's not aligned properly. And then what you want to do is just look at the floor or the sandbar beneath your face. So you want to keep your neck vertebrae in line with the rest of your spine. Pull your belly away from the floor here or the ground. Now, if you're getting a cramp in the arch of your foot or feet, tuck your toes under. That's perfectly acceptable. That's just fine. Okay. All right, so if you need a little bit of cushion as well underneath your knees, feel free to put something under there. That is not going to make it any more difficult or easy for you. Okay, so you can stay right here. If the weight of your body on your wrist is just fine, thank you very much, you stay right here. If you want to kick it up a notch, extend your left leg and or your right arm. So you can do one or the other or both. So if you're on your elbow, when you extend your arm, your hand might be on the floor. That would be fine. You actually don't want it here because that's going to make you arch your back. So keep your arm low. And in this position, I would actually turn my palm this way or even up. So it'll rotate your shoulder. Don't have your palm down. Have it either to the side or up. Now the thing to keep in mind here, that back foot, if you look under your body and you can see your toes, you want your toes pointing down. Because if your toes are pointed out to the side, you're probably lifting your left butt cheek like mine is right here. See how my left butt cheek's a lot higher than my right one? You want to turn your toes down so that your hips are the same distance away from the floor. Okay? Opposite arm to the leg is extended. So you want to pull your belly button away from the floor, kind of pressing your back up towards the sky, and push your shoulders down into the floor. So you can stay there as long as you like, and then just switch. That's up to you. So just holding yourself up here, you're using a lot of arm muscles. Now if you find that you're wiggling and jiggling here and it's really hard to balance, welcome to the club. Okay, this is deceptively difficult. You're using a lot of stabilizer muscles. It's the muscles that hold you up and balance you. This is a balancing pose. So if you're wiggling and jiggling, that means you're working like crazy. Perfect, awesome. Feel free to keep your fingertips or your tippy toes on the floor to help balance you. That's fine. Breathe constantly. If you want to kick it up a notch, you can always, by keeping everything really tight here, so not rounding and arching the back, just tuck your elbow and your knee in, and then extend. And once you figure out what you're doing, just look at the floor or the sandbar beneath your face, just to keep your neck vertebrae in line with the rest of your spine. Do that as many times as you like. You don't have to move your legs at all, or your arms, and then come on down. Now just to stretch out the back, if you really feel that in the back, take a deep breath and then round the back. Tuck your tailbone under, push your shoulders down, let your head dangle, and then release. Feel free to do that a few times if you like. And then come on down onto your soggy mat. Yoga mats are like sponges. Don't try to wash your mat, because it'll take like a week for your mat to dry. It's crazy. And as you can see, this is my outdoor mat. See those grass stains? I tried to wash them out. Doesn't happen. It won't happen. Just make it your outdoor mat if you get it all stained up. All right, so today I invite you to consider this. Decide first what you want before you decide whether it's possible or not. In fact, I invite you to kind of let go of the idea that anything is impossible at all. Just assume everything's possible, and then decide what you want, what you'd like to do, where you'd like to be, etc. And the question of the day is similar to that. So your question of the day today is, if money was not a consideration, so say you had like $50 million in the bank or something. My friend and mentor, Chris Ward, she posed this question once, so that's why I'm using it here. Brilliant question. She's a brilliant woman. If money was not a concern, and you could do anything you wanted, and you knew that you wouldn't fail, what would you do? Sit and think about that for a while. No matter how crazy it sounds, whatever that burning desire is, hang on to it. Doesn't matter how crazy, in fact, the crazier, the better, okay? The crazier, the better. All right, make it a great day. Take care. I'll see you next time.